the way how them say, like they don't care about somebody now. Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try. Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try.
So why we allow this administration to erode our democracy? This is a democratic society, and therefore every creed and race must find an equal place.
Yeah, Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try. Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try.
So I am calling on every youth, I am calling on every citizen. Let us unite and save Trinidad and Tobago. For far too long we have been exploited. For far too long we have been neglected. The time has come where we must stand united in order to save our country. Yes, my brothers and my sisters.
Yeah, Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try. Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try.
And let us fight to defend our democracy in this country. Let us stand together.
Yeah. They cry from the ghetto, and the way how them say, like they don't care about somebody now. Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try. Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try.
So why we allow this administration to erode our democracy? This is a democratic society, and therefore every creed and race must find an equal place.
Yeah, Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try. Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try.
So I am calling on every youth, I am calling on every citizen. Let us unite and save Trinidad and Tobago. For far too long we have been exploited. For far too long we have been neglected. The time has come where we must stand united in order to save our country. Yes, my brothers and my sisters.
Yeah, Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try. Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try.
And let us fight to defend our democracy in this country. Let us stand together.
Yeah. They cry from the ghetto, and the way how them say, like they don't care about somebody now. Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try. Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try.
So why we allow this administration to erode our democracy? This is a democratic society, and therefore every creed and race
Yeah, Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try. Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try.
So I am calling on every youth. I am calling on every citizen. Let us unite and save Trinidad and Tobago. For far too long we have been exploited. For far too long we have been neglected. The time has come where we must stand united in order to save our country. Yes, my brothers and my sisters.
Yeah, Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try. Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try.
And let us fight to defend our democracy in this country. Let us stand together.
Yeah. They cry from the ghetto, and they wear on them like they don't care about somebody now. Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try. Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try.
So why we allow this administration to erode our democracy? This is a democratic society, and therefore every creed and race must find an equal place.
Yeah, Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try. Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try.
So I am calling on every youth. I am calling on every citizen. Let us unite and save Trinidad and Tobago. For far too long we have been exploited. For far too long we have been neglected. The time has come where we must stand united in order to save our country. Yes, my brothers and my sisters.
Yeah, Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try. Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try. They cry from the ghetto, and they wear on them like they don't care about somebody now. Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try. Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try.
So why we allow this administration to erode our democracy? Pleasant good afternoon to each and everyone. Welcome to Facts, Not Fiction. And of course, today being Sunday, it is just as any other Sunday where I will bring you some information, some that will thrill your inspiration, some that will chill your bones, and some that you just may not like.
All depends on what side of the fence that you are lying on. So welcome. Welcome to all viewers, locally, regionally, internationally. Welcome to Facts. I have two idiots before me here, ladies and gentlemen. Two idiots before me, and I'm thinking about which one of the idiots that I should deal with first. Whether it's the idiot on the right or the idiot on the left. So I will start with the idiot on the left. Because you see today, I ain't feeling right. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Faris Al-Rawi, turns to the High Court to determine whether Tobago House of Assembly Act permits Watson Duke to serve as Deputy Chief Secretary and PSA President. Faris Al-Rawi. Faris. I can't call you all the name that Arnold Roberts does call you. My tongue does tie up. I can't describe you as how Arnold Roberts does describe you. Because if I try to describe you as Arnold, I would not do justice to Arnold Roberts. Not to you, to Arnold. I won't do justice. So I will deal with you how I accustom. Watson Duke tender his resignation as PSA chairman comes the 31st of December. I have seen many chairmans. I have seen many board members or chairman. I have seen many individuals in public life tendering their resignation with whether a 2 weeks or 3 weeks grace in order to clear their desk, to pack their cabinets, to get hold of their files. In other words, to vacate the office. When you look at the days, ladies and gentlemen, according to Watson Duke, pen and paper to his resignation, minus the Saturdays and Sundays, and even the public holidays, it might very well be about 8 days. But Faris Al-Rawi took it upon himself to file the matter in the High Court so that the court could say whether or not Watson Duke is entitled to those days. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not know if it's because Faris know that the PNM government doesn't want him anymore, I don't know if he know. But I am asking Faris Al-Rawi why it is that you would take it upon yourself, which you will have to pay $1 or $2 million of taxpayers' money to have the High Court tell you that Duke is not entitled to a couple days to clear his cupboard? Yes or no? I don't know if Faris Al-Rawi, if Faris colleagues who fought many cases against the state that he lose, I want to ask Faris Al-Rawi today if those cases that he lose, if it was willfully. I want to ask Faris. I ain't casting any aspersions, you know. I am questioning. I am asking Faris Al-Rawi, the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago, that if all those cases that he lose, where the state have to pay millions of dollars in legal fees, I am asking you, Faris Al-Rawi, if you willfully lose these cases, and why? You see, I had to be careful now because I'm walking down a line and I'm balancing right foot, right foot, right foot, but not balisé. Right foot, left foot, but not balisé. Because you see, ladies and gentlemen, I am saying that you cannot have an Attorney General of this Twin Island Republic who lose so many cases and yet still remains Attorney General, except that there is something inside the mortar beside the pestle and the plantain. What are you ponging there, Faris? Millions of dollars in legal fees. Faris, I want to ask another question, boy. I want to ask that these attorneys who fought all these legal battle against the state, I also want to ask you, Faris, if any of them is a friend. I want to ask you if any of them is a friend. And I want to find out too, Faris, if those lawyers, if they are karate experts, I want to know if these lawyers is your friend, and I also want to know if they are karate experts. Trinidad and Tobago, let me tell you something about karate men. karate man, it does have front kick. It does have back kick. It does have side kick. And there is a new technique that them karate men develop that they call kickback. They call it kickback. So it's front kick, side kick, and they change back kick to kickback. So I want to know how much of these lawyers are karate men, Faris. I want to know. I want to know if it's Chen Sing. I want to know if it's Bruce Lee. I want to know if it's Jet Li. I want to know if it's the old Silver Fox. And Silver Fox, I ain't talking about you in Tobago, eh? Not that Silver Fox I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Silver Fox and them who introduced this kickback. So Faris, how much money it will cost the state to pay for these legal fees in relation to Watson Duke? You see, you want to know, Faris, if he could hold the two positions. That is what you want to know. Well, I want to know, Faris Al-Rawi, if it is legal for you to be an Attorney General in the Cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago and your family getting rental money. I want to know if that's legal. Why you ain't send that to the High Court to determine if you could be Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago and your family them collecting rent? Send that to the High Court. Send that to the High Court. Let us get a determination. Because you see, in this country is one law for any opposition and a different law for government. I want to know if you could be Attorney General who have recused yourself umpteen times. And why you recuse yourself, Faris? Was it because it had to do with finance for your family? Was it because they were discussing how much rent to settle on with your family? Was it because of the direct involvement that you had to recuse yourself? So the same way you send Duke matter to the High Court to know if Duke could hold this Deputy Chief Secretary and the Chairman of PSA, I want you to send to the High Court if you could hold the office of Attorney General and your family still collecting taxpayers' money rent. You see, let me tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. There is butchers in this government. These people in this government will suck the milk out of the cow. And first they're greedy. When they realize that the milk running slow, these animals will cut the breast of the cow off and wring it in a strainer with a piece of cloth to drain out every drop of milk that they could get from this cow that we call Trinidad and Tobago. Them fellas milking this cow. They're sucking the cow dry. They collect the cow fat and wrong. And right now, if you examine the cow, I am telling you, Dr. Kublal Singh looking better than the cow. Better than the cow. This vampire government, they will suck everything out. Let me tell you something about these cabinet ministers. All of you who feel that all want to celebrate Christmas, like if it has something to celebrate, take any one of them hold them by the 2 foot and push them through your house with all the cobweb and all the dust or whatever it have in your house. And I'm telling you, when you're done pass them through your house, they suck everything clean. This is the kind of animals we have for government ministers. This is the behavior of persons who you vote and put in office. Every Monday morning, they recuse themselves. But you see, my grandmother used to always say, cutlass man don't like cutlass pass over your head. So the problem with them is that they feel that they could spite Tobago. You see, it is like an old love affair, ladies and gentlemen. It's like an old love affair. Faris Al-Rawi dress up real tight. You know the man love it tight. He like to look tight. He like to look tight. When you watch him, if you send him to a beauty contest and you spin him around, all the clothes fit him tight to the front. But when you turn him around, it's slack to the back. But Watson Duke is a dress-up man. Watson is a dandeli. Watson like to cut it sharp, cut it on the edge. So I don't know if Al-Rawi having a banker over Watson. I don't know. I don't know if he feel Watson that look more better than he. I don't know if he find everything about Watson masculine. I don't know, because you see, I remember that he went in a room with a set of man with arm wrestling and pulling and tugging, and you know, some of them men, they looking masculine. And when you watch Faris inside there, me ain't say no more about that, you know. I ain't say no more about that. But you see, it is like an old love affair that Faris said to he, or I could say him if I want. But Faris said to he, that dude, that guy, let me say that guy for now, that we don't have to answer to you, boy. And here what happened, Faris pull his pajama strings and burst it. So when he pull his pajama strings and it burst, his whole pajama fall off. And all in a sudden, he feel that he could attack Tobago and attack the THA and attack everybody. But let me tell you something. Faris could not have said it better. By what moral authority or moral standing that the Attorney General have to make any kind of principle recommendation to the THA. You see, let me tell you something. This youth man, watch him good. Everything about him looking manly. Faris Al-Rawi, everything about him looking how? All you tell me. I want all you tell me. Tell me on the live. This youth man, everything looking manly. But the Faris Al-Rawi attorney, looking how? All you tell me. All you tell me. So Faris, you're going to waste taxpayers' money simply because a birdie tell me that they no longer have any credibility in you inside the PNM because it is alleged. Yes. Because it is alleged that you took a principal stand. See how I'm bigging you up there? Faris, see how I'm bigging you up? It is alleged that on this occasion, you took a manly stand to support the former commissioner of police, and the birdie tell me that because of that, they don't want you. I don't know. I do not know. When a birdie tell me something, I repeat what the birdie said, but I am quite careful because sometimes the bird is not a dove. It might be a young kobo that ain't changed feathers yet. So Faris, you trying to get back in the chief good book. You trying to get back in Adolf book. Boy, you don't know the kind of animal that Adolf Hitler really is, boy. You don't know. Let me tell you something. We have a local Adolf Hitler that just as how it is said that Hitler wipe out Jews like chili bibi. We have a local Hitler that intend to wipe out this country. Worse than Adolf Hitler. Worse. Our local Hitler is merciless. You know, merciless one sing a song, he learn out the mercy and he get it back yet. Anything test merciless, dead. Well, if all you in believe me, then make a phone call. Make a phone call and ask the ex-waterman. Well, you know what I'm talking about? Make a phone call and ask Lee Hunt. Ask him why he not there. Ask him why he not in the cabinet. Ask him not why he not in the wagonette. Ask him why he not in the buffet. Ask him why he not in the bedhead. Ask him why he not even in the basin. Ask him why he not in the posy. Ask him that. All you think this Hitler, all you have here care about all you, but I comment to he just now. I comment to he just now. I have a next idiot to deal with here. So Faris Al-Rawi, I want to say to you, Mr. Bossman, that within your own party, they are looking at you as a traitor. They're looking to you as the whistleblower. They're looking at you, Faris, as the enemy. And I want to suggest to you, boy, Faris, boy, take the easy way out. Before you end up like your comrade, take the easy way out, brother. Because I am saying before long, my brother, you will be in some serious hot water. So I'll leave you there for now. Next. So it have a gentleman, ladies and gentlemen. And this gentleman want to tell you what is the penalty for lying. This gentleman, ladies and gentlemen, want to tell you what is the penalty for not telling the truth. So this gentleman, on the Trinidad Express newspaper, a paper that I consider to be toilet paper, a paper that I consider to be fit for latrine. I remember last week Tuesday I had Councillor Bowen on U97.5 Douglas Radio. And Councillor Bowen, who operates under the Super Regional Corporation, said to me that the most amount of latrine that the Super Regional Corporation had to clean is in the constituency of Labre. Well, I take offense one time. I take offense, I get bad when I hear Bowen say that Labre had the most amount of latrine. I say, nah! Can't be. I say, Lavanti. I said it had to be Lavanti because Fitzgerald Hines just went and put a pipe. So there are no water up there to flush no toilet. So they had to be using latrine. So I said it had to be up there. So I tried to get in contact with the mayor of Port of Spain. And when I get in contact with the mayor of Port of Spain, I will get some statistics as to whether or not who win who in terms of latrine. If Lavanti win Labre or Labre win Lavanti. But nevertheless, it doesn't matter. Both of them is PNM constituency. It doesn't matter. Two of them start with L. It doesn't matter. Two of them have failed representation. It doesn't matter. So they might as well use this express for their latrine. Because you see, why I telling them use the express for the latrine is that everything associated with the PNM now is PNM, PNM Labre, PNM Lavanti, PNM Express, PNM Guardian, PNM Newsday. So use them, you could use them dailies and things for the outhouse, right? So let me go. So this man said here that this woman who came to Trinidad and Tobago with this virus that they call Omicron, he states that, look, this woman didn't tell the truth. And in other words, she must be punished. So a little piece of the writings that are gathered from this post on Facebook. Look at right here. This little Facebook post here. So here what it said. It says, that is punishable on a fine up to $350,000. He's speaking about the untruth. And a significant term of imprisonment because it really endangers people. And she had, and here it states, and she had the really dreaded, recently developed Omicron virus. People, when it in Faris is Hines. Let me watch Hines picture again. I want to watch back Hines picture. Let me just see something before we get into the gist of this, right? Hines said traveler must pay for lying, right? But let me watch Hines picture. Let me zero in on the picture here. I want to zero in on Hines picture. And I see you have your mouth kind of a little bit open there too. So let me zero in here. Let me zero in here good. So when you watch Hines good, I realize that the whole hairline going backward. I also realize that the dread kind of scanty. I'm watching here, I don't know if it's a dark spot from the camera, but I'm seeing that his gum is also dark in complexion. I'm looking at his eyes, and his eyes they are very heavy. It seems as though that his eyes is not normal at this point in time. Right, that is all I could say so far. But if his eyes is not normal, from where I sit, it is kind of heavy, kind of glassy. He probably take too much sunlight. But while I'm looking at Heinz, are they watching the back there? Let's see something run there. Or let's see nothing run. You know what run in the back there? Something by the name of skunk. Now I know sometimes if you smell a skunk, your eyes could look glassy. I know sometimes if the fumes from the skunk come in your direction, your eyes could also look sleepy, like when he was on that press conference the other day. You see, skunk is a dangerous animal. A skunk does cause people to say the wrong thing. A skunk could interfere with your brain. A skunk is a small animal, but it's powerful. It's powerful. It interferes with your brain. Because I want to ask Heinz, when you speak, only watch the eyes. You see what I tell you? A skunk is a dangerous thing. Watch the eyes. Watch the eyes. And for somehow, from where I'm watching, it appears that his teeth kind of like changing color. It's not really white. It ain't black, but like a brown. And I wonder what does cause your teeth and them, or probably it's a stain. I wonder what does stain your teeth. Could be excessive eating. Could be excessive drinking. I have a prize to give away. Who could tell me what is the other thing that will stain your teeth and have it discolored? So he's not eating, he's not drinking. Asking somebody on the live, tell me why Heinz looking like that. Tell me why he looking like that. But let me come to the point. I want Heinz, since he know the penalty could be 350,000 and a huge amount of time in prison, I want to ask Heinz where should Keith Rowley be at this point in time? You see, we're talking about lying. We're talking about who believe that the woman lie on the form, who believe that the woman didn't tell the truth. All right, okay. But if it have a penalty for lying, I want to ask Heinz where the Prime Minister of this country should be at this point in time, and what kind of fines that he should be paying. Because the Prime Minister lied to Trinidad and Tobago. You, Prime Minister, lie. It ain't no allege, it ain't no shelf, it ain't no, you lie to this country. Lie. Last week I sing it. I tell you later about parang. They does lie, they does lie, they does lie, they does lie. I wonder what lie they telling now. They does lie. And I want to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. The cabinet does condone the lies. Some of these same individuals who will want to be leaders of the PNM very soon, they just condone the lies. And if they are condoning lies, ladies and gentlemen, how could you put these individuals to lead this government? Patrick Manning once said that his mother said to him, "Show me a thief, and I will show you a liar. Show me a liar, and I will show you a thief." They work interchangeably. They work hand in hand. A liar is a thief, and a thief is a liar, and a liar is a thief, and they will thief, and they will lie, and they will destroy this country. So while you're talking about this woman who had the dreaded virus and may footy well infect a percentage of people, we have a prime minister and a cabinet, including you, Hines, including you, that continues to destroy the life of citizens in this country by all your action in relation to all your decision in relation to all your policies. All you literally murdering this country by all your policies, and in some case the lack of a day off. All you have no mercy for even the people who all you represent. Forget the UNC people. The people who all you represent in all your constituency, all you treat them like dog. The people who all you represent, all you have them hungry. All you have them begging. And worse, all you have them dunce. All your government, Hines, is your government who say 4 trees and 30 grams. Hines, you plant your 4 tree yet? You have your 30 grams or it getting burn out? You have your 30 grams or it getting used out? That is what all you bring for the African man. And first all you evil and wicked. On top of that, when all you don't give him that, all you send him for a job and call the boss and say, give him a drug test. I want my partner here with me. When I'm a good friend here with me, he sit down and he taking in this thing. And let me tell you something. If my partner had to go and pee, Hines, he had to borrow your urine, and I'm sure he go fail. Hines, if my partner had to go for a drug test, he will have to borrow your urine, and I'm sure he go fail, Hines. You know why he go fail, Hines? Because Rowley, let me back it up. Let me tell you something. Manning try with you. Put you here, put you there, put you everywhere and you fail. Kick you outside. You catch a ride on the solid waste management truck and end up in the PNM garbage heap. What we have here for our government is a garbage heap we have for our government. And hear what? The solid waste manager put you here, put you there. And watch where he put you now. He put you, you know why he put you there? Let me tell you why he put you there. He put you there to dead, Hines. He put you there to dead. You know why? The policies that he bringing now against the police, the soldier, the army, the coast guard, the prison, the fire service, and all the immigration and everybody, he put you there to dead. Because let me tell you something. The first man coming under fire is you, Hines. And that time you would not be able to put your thumb between your teeth and talk like if you were some European Englishman with some kind of out of timing, outdated suit. Why you ain't borrow one of Rowley suit? I think I hear them suit and them that scores all kind of 500,000-600,000 a suit. Why you ain't borrow one of them suit and look expensive and look smart? Borrow one of Rowley suit, look expensive, look smart. You understand? Get a little, how you call this thing again, boy? How you call this soda? This soda you brush your teeth with? Baking soda? Yeah, a little baking soda and the toothbrush and thing and shine back up them teeth and them white and thing eyes, boy, and look a little smart. You know, pour an expensive suit. You understand? Pour for expensive suit, a little soda, baking soda and a toothbrush and things, scratch as you see them two in front here, brighten them up. You know, if it has a little stain and thing, move it out and look a little smart. Take a nice little shave, mark up yourself. Your hairline kind of a little push back a little too far, but it has something now you could stick on it. You know, and make yourself look smart. But what should they put you? Our next big failure. Everybody coming in we country. They come in here, there and everywhere. And all you saying down and do is having a conversation with Jacob. It has some Jacob down Palasico, Santa Flora, all there. Them is smart people. I don't know where to find this Jacob from. This Jacob had to be some kind of Jacob from somewhere. Well, I can't say they because our family from there too. So this Jacob had to be some kind of Nigerian. Had to be some kind of offspring from some Nigerian who will sit down and take advice from you. Take advice from you as to how to run a police service. You could understand that? You can't even run your constituency. You can't even help people in your constituency. You can't even look after the burgesses in your constituency. You can't even bring relief to the people in your constituency. But you is a big advisor to the now acting commissioner, some whatever he is. You understand? You is a big advisor. He taking advice from you. So I am saying that if you have to get a suit from Rowley Borough and take a little shave, brush up them teeth and look smart, and you advising a man while he ain't do that yet, what kind of advice again he, and what kind of advice he will give those under him? So you see the mess we in? We in a whole pig pen. It's only hogwash we getting right through, and all this saying don't and take that in this country like nothing. That is what is happening. People have to get serious in this place. Lavanti Labre Point 14, all you have to get serious in this place. How long are you going down that road? How long are you remaining in the dungeons? How long are you have nothing? How long are you have no home? How long again all you want to go in them latrine and water splashing up and wetting your bottom? How long are you want to do that? How long are you want to do that, boy? All you want to dead in that way? All your parents went through that. All you want to go through that too? All you want to live under those conditions? That is how all you want to live? Only have a government in power who don't care one toots about all you, who do nothing to move all the standard of living forward or to make all the self-sustainable within our constituency. And that is what all is supported. All is supporting a government who run out of ideas, a government who bankrupt, a government who have no knowledge as to run this country, a government who had the pandemic out of hand. Today we had about 20 deaths and we'll have about 24 tomorrow, and next day we'll have about 50, and then we'll go up to 60, and all going to be crying and bawling. Mommy gone, daddy gone, granny gone, sister gone, brother gone, and all of us saying no and do is crying, and all they want to make an effort to stand up against this government. This government introduced all kind of policies, draconian measures to shrink all your level of thinking, to bring all it to naught, punishing all you, and yet still all is supporting that. Rowley come now and bring mandatory vaccination in a technical way, place it on the public service, and all is still saying down and taking that. When all you will rise up, when all you will get up. So all you want to look like Heinz all the time. Take off all your clothes and get smart. Take off that P&M clothes and get smart. Take off that P&M clothes and fight the battle for survival. So all they realize what Rowley doing to all you. All they realize Rowley don't care about all you. All they realize all they have no life under the P&M. All they can't see that. All they ain't seen that. What policy this government bring in place for the past 7 years to help all the Lavanti Labre and all the P&M constituencies? Tell me one on the chat. One. What policy they bring to move your standard of living forward? What they do to you is what was existing, they take it away. They throw you flat on your belly, crawling. They bring you to the stage of a worm. You had to wiggle and crawl to try to survive. Why do you think the crime rate is out of control? Why do you think the police have no grip on crime? You feel it's because the police negligence? I mean, the leadership of the police is idiots. But coming down the line, it's because of the policy that the government bring. The policies that the government bring to the communities is what skyrocket crime, is what have murders continuing and will continue to happen. Everybody is a target. Nobody is safe. I see a prison officer get shot down in Sipa with his gun in his waist. The only line of defense that he had still wasn't good enough under this government. People, what is really wrong with we in this country, boy? What is wrong with us? We now have vaccine segregations. We now have unvaccinated versus the vax. That is what I am encouraging. And let me tell you something, vaccinated people. I want to tell you something. All of you who run and take vaccine, I, Victor Roberts, want to tell all you something today. Why all you do stand up? Stand up with us. Because we are saying, well, first, before I tell you Victor, let me tell you my leader position. The honorable leader of the opposition make it quite clear that we would not support mandatory vaccination. First and foremost. She believes that vaccination must be of choice, and also education must be placed in the public domain so that people will have first-hand knowledge where they can make their decision. Enough on that. You vaccinated people, why won't you join us? You see, I have about 3 hats and 4 boots, you know. I have a boots for dry season. So when it have fire, bush fire, you see me all day. I have a boots for rainy season. When it have flood and people stranded and they in trouble, you see me all day. I have a boots for charitable events. So when people have no food and they can't try to see what I could do, but poor fella, you know, I could only try. And then I have a political boots. Those boots, ladies and gentlemen, I know exactly when to put them on. So you see when I bring in food for you, I don't want you to call me and tell me you want a hamper because you're a UNC. Don't tell me that. I don't want to hear that. Because food does not know PNM, UNC, or any party. Food know belly when it's hungry. So don't call me and tell me that. When it a flood, I come in. I go so far that I may bust a little mark. I buy a little small boat with a little electrical battery engine. Because when I see the type of water that I had to go through with my van, On this last occasion, my wife and children and my partner go tell her, I had to buy a transmission. Okay? So I buy a boat. I used the van as a boat before, but I buy a little boat now to help all you, right? When you want rescuing, don't call me and tell me it's a PNM or a UNC. Don't tell me that. When coming, ladies and gentlemen, to seriousness, I put on the necessary boots to get the job done. So let me talk to you, vax personnel. Don't watch those who have not yet taken the vaccine, or who may never take the vaccine, or who don't want the vaccine. They are not your enemy. I want to tell you who is your enemy. Watch me, my eye. Your enemy is the government. Your enemy is not those who will take the vaccine or who may never take it. Your enemy is the government. Let me tell you why. All right? Let me tell you why. If the government serious about you taking vaccine and your well-being, and to ensure that everything go good as they so say that they care about you, so that you have to take they want you to take the vaccine to survive. If that is true, Mr. and Mrs. Vaccinated, why not all of us join together to ensure that when you obey the government and you go and take your vaccine, and any complication arises out of your taking of the vaccine, join with me and let us hold the government account to compensate you for your damages. I ain't hearing all you. I ain't hearing all you. Let me say it again. Since you obeying the government to go and get your vaccine, I am saying join with me and others like me to ensure that when you take your good self medically fit and you go and you receive that vaccine and complication arises out of you taking your vaccine, I am saying that the government must compensate you for your damages, and in the case of death, the government must compensate your next of kin. We have had so many individuals who went and take the vaccine, proud, happy, and end up with complications. You know what happened to them? You know what they receive? Absolutely nothing. Some receive a wreath, zip up in a bag. Some receive a 3-4 man funeral, and some receive absolutely nothing. Why that must be so? You looking at the unvaccinated as your enemy. They are not your enemy. Your enemy is the government. Because when you take the vaccine and any complications come around with you, you have absolutely nothing to get. You have to go and line up and see if you get some kind of public assistance. You have to go and fill out a form and see if you get public assistance. All these millions the government collecting from outside. Let the government compensate persons who took the vaccine and who fell ill. Yeah. That is what we must fight for. We must fight for our citizens. Whether you be a police or a prison officer, whether you be a nurse or a doctor, whether you be a CPAP worker or a drain cleaner, whatever you are, when you take that vaccine and complication arises, you should and must be compensated. That is what you have to join with us and people like me to make sure it happens. You can't go and take a vaccine with your good, healthy self, and then to the end of the day, you end up in a complicated way, and everybody turn their back on you, and you watch the unvaccinated as the enemy. Then you are an idiot. That is what you are, an idiot. Why should I take something and complications arise? Not because of my own doing, but because of what you give in me, what you put in me. And then what I must do, send my family to look for some kind of public assistance, look for some $800 or $1,500 when the month come, and I'm like a vegetable. You could slice me and fry me and cook me. I cannot help myself, not by my own doing, but by what you tell me to take and what you put inside of my body. And only taking that. You see, that is the problem. We always try to think politics, but we do not think reality. We are not wise. We cannot see when we are tricked and all smart. We cannot see when we are being fooled by these so-called jokey politicians. And I want to tell Rowley something on that one time. Rowley, let me tell you one time. I ain't going to tell you today. I ain't going to tell you today. I go wait. I go let good sense prevail. But ladies and gentlemen, this is what you should be fighting for. How many of you fell ill because of vaccine? I have a friend, he just take any piece of metal and rest it on his shoulder. I and my wife was talking to somebody recently, and he said, Victor, since I take that vaccine, my hand dead. I can't drive truck anymore. Why are not these individuals, why are they not being compensated for medical injuries? That is what this big dunce head, who have the face of a mule and the brain of a donkey, that is what he should be studying. Putting policies in place to help those who develop complication as a result of this vaccine. Dialsing. The brain of a donkey and the face of a mule. And you sit down as people who profess to be smart people, but you ain't really smart. As on that, let me say this one time. You see all you set of idiots who just like to go and chat and talk. All you idiots who know all what should be done to fix a problem. And all you let us do is go on a chat and talk. Give my brain a rest. I don't have a brain of a donkey. I don't have a brain of a donkey. I might have a face of stone, but I don't have no brain of a donkey. All of you who know what to do to fix the problem, and all you could only fix the problem by echoing hot air on chat and on social media. Boy, all you go somewhere Lavanti and Labre and see if all go jump in that latrine that Councillor Bowen say that dung they full of. You hear what I'm telling all you? All you always know something. All you always quick to break down, to tear up, to mash up. What you feel this is some kind of fame game? You feel all what the activists and them doing in this country is some fame they're looking for? That's what you feel? You know how much money the cause we to come out of our own pocket to make an effort to try to raise awareness in this country for people to understand what's going on? All a bunch of clowns? All the P&M Jews said? All who have brain like a shrimp? What you feel this is some kind of fame thing? You feel this is some road to glory? People dying in this country, people falling down, people don't have food, people don't have clothes, people don't have shelter, and what you feel it is, because there's some kind of little stupid walk somewhere by day, which won't last as much as a snowball when Keith Rowley done with all you feel all there's something? That's the problem with all you as African people. Yes, all you as African. That's the only problem. All you have nothing and all you show off on it. All you have nothing and all you show off on it. All you feel all important went to the rest of the world, all is a bunch of losers. All you feel that all is so important to the community that all you live with, that nobody even have respect for you. Nobody even want to hear what you have to say. You know why? This thing is not by talk, boys. This thing is by action. This is how we do it. We do it by action. We put ourselves in harm's way to make a better Trinidad and Tobago. We go out our way to help people, not for fame and glory, but to help people to survive. We go out of our way and speak on these platforms to help the little boy and girl in these rural communities who have no hope who have no hope as a result of this government policy. We try to educate the voters and those who don't vote to show them that their vote and those who do not vote is the reason why we have the PNM in power. We go at length to explain to them how important your vote is in this country. We go at length to show as a result of this people's national movement from 1956 to now that these are strong supported communities of that party is in those conditions. They have nothing. Absolutely nothing. So what I feel to say is about our fame and our glory. And I want to say this as my time comes down. I want to say something to you. All of you who believe that it has something to celebrate this Christmas, go ahead and celebrate. Go ahead and celebrate. All of you who believe that toys is more important than food, you go ahead and give toys. Go ahead and give it. All of you who believe that these hungry children could eat a water gun and could eat a dolly, go ahead and give them. And all of you who believe that this fight is suspended because of the holidays, then suspend the fight. Go ahead and suspend the fight. You go ahead and suspend the fight and feel that Keith Rowley waited for you to come back to fight before he implement his policies. You suspend the fight now, man. You suspend the fight. You see, plenty people believe that this thing is a game. People believe that Keith Rowley have any mercy. People believe that Keith Rowley care about Christmas, New Year's, Santa Claus, whether you red, black, pink, or white. All they believe that. Believe that. All they believe that. You just stay right there and believe that. The last thing I wanted to say, I ain't go say it. I ain't go say it. But if all you feel that is the way to go, then go ahead. Go ahead. Let me just have a merry time, eat, drink, and be merry, because tomorrow we die. People died in this country like fly. This government have got a clue how to fix this situation. And we, ladies and gentlemen, we just casual. We just, as one man said to me, boy, this is a festive time, and you know, it's a time for everything. All right. So if it's a time for fiesta, then go ahead and balance. But always stay ready and feel Keith Rowley waited on all you to done balance and done fiesta down and done fiesta up and then say, let me start the battle again. Always stay and feel is that I go on.
Yes, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try.
So why we allow this administration to erode our democracy? This is a democratic society, and therefore every creed and race must find an equal place.
Yeah, Victor vibes. If you want to see a better life, yeah, share the light. When the youth them know we gotta try. Victor vibes.